up on your dreams.
Hi everybody.
How you going?
I hope you have a great day, or you had a great day.
About to have a great day.
About to have a great day. We're always first here in Australia, I guess. I had a great day. I had a
good day. I had a really good day.
Yeah, we had like some good decision makings.
Yeah. I will say what I'd like to discuss tonight will be about not letting go of dreams, not letting go of something that feels right. It might only be a short-term dream. Could be only a short-term dream. Like with me, it's with certain situations with work. But I feel like I have to go through this. I have to go through this journey to get to a point where I'm like, yes, I created it and I did it, and then I can let it go. And it's about not letting go of your dreams, and more being like, don't let people stand in the way of your dreams. We were talking yesterday about how we create blockages and stuff like that, but we also have people that create blockages for us.
So do you think there are any outer circumstances that are causing you to not go for your dreams?
Yeah, of course. Well, through work, I'll put it like this. Just lately I was offered a job, and I took the job, and after a week working there, I thought, this really ain't what I was given. And so, rather than waste my time, I'll just let that job go, and go on my. I do rope access, and I'm a rope access rigger at the moment. This is my work. This is a way of income at the moment. And I got offered a job for rope access rigging, and then I went there, and it's not what they offered. I'm doing other kind of things. That's not why I'm here. And so now this is 4 days into the new job. I'm letting it go. And for me, it's really important to be happy, to be enjoying what you're doing. Because when you're doing that, first of all, you don't age so much from stress. And you're feeling good, you're feeling light, you're feeling like you're doing the right thing. And of course, people offer you things that they can't actually follow through with. So that's the time when you've got to start to think about yourself and say, well, okay.
So, but in the end, it wasn't really somebody else blocking you. It would have been you yourself blocking yourself if you wouldn't have.
If I didn't make the decision to move on. So this is
the next step, right?
Yeah. So this is the whole thing. Like I got offered certain work, and I say after 4 days that this ain't what they're wanting me for. And the work they wanted me for, I don't want to be doing. So I'm not letting this create a blockage. It's like, okay, this ain't what we agreed upon, and we're talking contracts here. So it's not just like your neighbour saying to you, I'm not giving you back your video. It's contracts. So you've got a contract. So legally binding. So I just want to say, okay, look, this ain't working for me, and I'll move on to the next job. There's a lot of work. If you're not lazy, there's a lot of work, especially in my where we're living now in Western Australia, in mining. There's a lot of work.
So in the end,
I didn't create a blockage by not standing up for myself.
Yeah. So in the end, it's always important. It's not only in Western Australia. We always have possibilities to move on. Like it's everywhere. In whatever situation we are, in whatever country we are, we are never bound to stick in a situation where we're not happy.
Yeah.
But
unhappiness will bring you down to a negative. This is the other thing. Unhappiness, being unhappy with your job, life, love, will actually start to create negative vibrations because you're not flowing. You're not on your good vibration. So that will have effects over long term if you don't stand up for yourself. Can I say? Because I'm caring about me at the moment. So it's like. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, so like, in the end, it always comes down to that we have to be responsible, take over our own responsibility for what is happening in our realm of, like in this realm around us,
So
nobody else is taking the responsibility.
There's the other thing, I'll take the responsibility because I got offered something and it's not working out. So I take responsibility and I step up to the plate and say, okay, this ain't what you offered, and what you are offering now is not what I want. And you move on. No hard feelings, no getting angry, no getting upset. Just move on.
So how do you detect if it's the right step to move on? Some people would say, okay, I feel insecure to do that, I mean, like I said, you're never bound to stick in a certain situation. You can always decide it's not the right thing for me, but how do you decide if it's the right thing? Because many people would say, well, I feel it's not the right thing, but it's supplying me, my family, I have people that depend on me. I cannot just move on, right? So how is that, like
well,
how...
There's one scale in life, and you put it like a scale, or like a scale. There's one scale in life that goes above all, and that's love. So if I'm loving what I'm doing, there's the scale. So that's tipping. Now, if I'm doing what I love and I love what I'm doing, my scale is balanced. When I see that just in a short time, it's only 4 days, I'm not going to say, I didn't stay, I could stay with it for another month or whatever and be unhappy. And that would start to affect my life, my love, the things I care about. It would slowly start to eat away everything in my life. And I choose not to do that. I choose to move on and get another job. And unless you want that specific job to do, and you're crazy about it, I've had relations that are crazy about what they learned, they've got to do that, and they've never worked. And that's nothing crazy or not crazy. You can be to whatever you want with yourself, but they're stepping stones. And if you see you've stepped backwards in one step, it's time to step up and say, okay, that's not what I want to be doing. And so you move on, And I can understand about the money and stuff like this, because everyone's always worried about the money and money. You got all these people that are billionaires, and what are they looking for at the end? Health. Where does health come from? From loving oneself. So if my health's not deteriorating and the money's disappearing, I can always get more money. You can always open yourself up to more money. There's enough things to do.
And if you do the step to move on because it's just not resonating with you, the resonance comes from your inner being that is showing you that's not the right place where you are, so if that is giving you this feedback from the inside, then when you do the step, which is like, sometimes it's a brave step, sometimes it's a challenge to do the step, but if you do it, the money will flow, because once you are in the right place, the money is just coming in because you are in the right place, in the right vibration, in the right,
in the right
where
place
you are supposed to be, So I think it's always about being able to listen to your inner being that is giving you constantly information, giving you constantly intuitive pictures, ideas, feedback about where you stand.
And what you want. What you want.
It is.
And where you want to be headed.
It is a practice, right? Like we just talked about it, because this is also something that is so important in a relationship, and this is actually where what means also love in a relationship. If you are able to support one another, to trust your intuition.
Yeah.
Because we have forgotten how it is to trust your intuition. As a child, like I said yesterday, we knew exactly what was
Made us happy and not happy.
what this is mine. This is exactly what I want. This is exactly how I want it to be. And if it wasn't the way I wanted it, the world would know.
Yeah.
So, but we forgot to.
I'm not sure if we forgot or we got like silenced. I wouldn't say we forgot, because when you start to resonate with yourself and things around you, you remember it's all great. But we, in a way, through schooling, through growing up, they silenced us. They silenced us, and through silence, great for meditating, great. But in your daily life, silence leads to unhappiness. You've got to stand up for yourself. And what I mean, I'm not going to go and fight with my bosses. I'm going to say, this is what you offered, and this is what I'm getting, and I've got to move on. And it's fine. It was great to work for you for a few days.
So, what do you think? Why we learn to be silent?
Because we're silenced through schooling. Don't talk when the teacher talks. Don't talk without putting your hand up. These kind of things, they're so deeply inbound, and this is happening from primary, kindergarten. From kindergarten, from when you're a baby at home. If you make a noise, like, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. So it's so deeply ingrained inside of us that we just think, okay, just be quiet. I'm going to get by. Getting by is not living.
Well, I would even go so far that we learn, it's like a thing, because when we were a child, oh, our connection was gone.
Yeah,
No, we were back. We learned to, when we were, joyful and playing with, daddy's guitar or whatever, and daddy came and was like, you're not allowed to touch my guitar. We learned that being joyful, being playful, is dangerous, because we got like
scolded.
Yeah. So, we learned more and more to be able to survive, because when we wanted to be part of a community as a child, we knew it was important to be part of a community. It was a survival instinct, because being thrown out of the community would mean, in the ancient times, would mean you would die.
Yeah, pretty
so
much.
This is still ingrained inside of us. So we learned, okay, if I want to survive, be part of the community, I have to be a
Quiet
child that is always nice and quiet, and all the conditions were put onto us, and this is how we are. It's a survival instinct that is letting us be so domesticated, so like, I want to say, merging into society, not stepping up for ourselves, what we want, for our desires. Be joyful, be happy without a reason. Why can't we just be joyful and happy without a reason?
That brings me to slow to drop, but we were in India in 2020 when COVID hit, the funny little COVID, and there was this Russian woman. She was probably a head taller than me, taller than us. We were 166, so she must have been like 78, 180. She was enough taller. And she would go down to the beach, and she would just drop into the water and jump back up and drop. And it was so joyful to watch, because you could just see, oh my God, this is her inner child, and she's just being. And I got a few chances to talk to her and stuff, and she was just so happy to be in the ocean. She wouldn't swim out or anything like that. It was just in like waist white water. She'd jump in, jump out, get out of the water, jump back in. It was like what we were doing when we were 5 years old, going to the beach for the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like.
And the thing is, watching her, in the beginning, you were like, my God, she's crazy.
What's going on there?
Once you look at her a little bit closer and you feel the energy, you go like, oh yeah, why not? You know, but like the first moment we were like, she must be crazy, you know, there must be something wrong with her, you know. So yeah,
there's a little bit too much joy for what we were used to at the time, and this is wrong.
So this is our silencing.
Be you, be you. That's as unique as you can be, and
but
it's beautiful.
What I was talking about before was these learning to trust your inner guidance, right? Your inner voice. And I was asking you just, half an hour ago to support me in that. And this is so important, where you can really work together as a couple, right?
Yeah.
Like when you see that your partner, and both do that, we always try to tell our partner, this is better for you, you should do it that way, you should do it that way, right? It's just somehow it's somehow ingrained into us, right? If like we were asking one another just right now to not do that anymore, to support each other when we have an impulse, when we have an intuition, go like, yes,
I'm following
do it, do it,
yeah.
And not go like, nah, you should do it different.
And think about it 20
times.
Do it
different,
no,
Go another way, whatever. Even if we feel like, it's not the way I would do it, but support the other person, because this is helping your partner and yourself also. Your partner can help yourself also to trust your inner
intuition.
Voice.
Yeah. Trust
that again, because this is what, I said we forgot it. You said, we unlearned it or whatever it is. But it's not there anymore. We had it as a child, and we knew we are invincible as a child, right? But we don't have this knowledge anymore.
It's not we have it.
It is
because
kind
when
of
you do
knowing,
Yeah, but when you do it, you feel good, and you're like, you don't care if the whole world's staring at you. But it's not that we've forgotten. It's like it's felt so uncomfortable. So
but
to break
this is such a deep love. If you can feel your partner supporting you to help you bring out your inner guidance again, support it, to support your trust into your inner guidance.
And
that's
such
a deep love, and you can trust your partner in that moment so much, because he will help you. He will,
or she will.
She will support you in that. So I can just give you that advice to ask your partner. Sit down with your partner, ask your partner, or whatever, whoever is close to you. We always have someone that is close to us, maybe a friend, to support you with that. That's such a deep love for me.
That's for sure. That's like
very, very deep trust and
that's
love.
Like we had that thing we did at school when we were young, and you would fall backwards, and the person behind you would catch you. You were like, you were scared, and then they caught you, and you're like, oh my god, trust. And this really comes down to yourself. Like in my situation I just talked about with the job, that I'm feeling it's not good, and that's what my intuitive self is saying. You stay doing this, and within a month you're going to be feeling sick. And I don't want to feel sick.
Exactly.
I want to feel full of life and be as bright as the sun. And then my energy can radiate onto others, you know what I mean? It's so important to be you and realize don't put up with anything. Don't put up with anything. That's my one of my biggest things that I could say. Don't put up with something. It doesn't feel good, move away. It's not going to feel good tomorrow. It's already made you feel not good. it's not going to feel good tomorrow. And it's not
Well,
going to
it
feel good
depends.
after you're going to
you
feel
know.
like you've let yourself, but you're going to feel like you've let yourself down because like, God, I knew this a week ago and I'm still there, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, that's letting
Or,
yourself down.
I mean, it's also there is also a possibility that you decide to learn from the situation of suffering. You know, there's always, you know, like there's always a possibility that you decide, okay, I'm going to stick to that because there's something resonating inside of me that feels like I need to learn from that, right?
Yeah.
It's always, it depends, like, you know, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah, it's not about
But
right and wrong.
if you know, if you feel this clear voice telling you that this is not where you want to be, this is just, it just doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
then, you know, do the next step.
Yeah.
You know, like if
Move
you
on.
feel like I'm not done with this yet, there's still something to learn. You know, there's always, you know, there are always situations where we just don't want to let it, we feel like we cannot let it go yet.
Yeah.
You know, then maybe it's not the right time to let it go. Maybe there's still something that, you know, there's still a process that we have to go through.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm a little bit disagreeing with that because if something's not feeling good, it's pretty hard to change that over, I would say, and especially when it comes to work. And it's like, so I'm not trusting myself anymore, and I'm trusting my boss. I'm definitely not in that kind of situation. I trust myself. When I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good. And I'm invincible. When I'm not, and I'm putting my trust in someone else, that's like opening a whole world of insecure for me. That's me as Philip.
So what about, you know, situations?
Even tomorrow, if they said to me, right, look, okay, cool, we're going to give you that, it's finished for me. Because this is for me, right? So don't take it in the follow my, this is my life, this is the way I do things. I've been through a certain amount of things that when this intuitive feeling comes up inside of me, and it's like, it's like someone putting their knuckle in here, and you're like, there wouldn't be pretty much anything they could offer that I would stay in this job.
So, but what about a situation where someone is...
we're talking about, I'm just discussing my situation. There's a million different situations, you know, there's a million different situations.
Yeah, of
Yeah, of course. But with this situation for me, it's move on. Move on.
No, but, you know, like other, you know, there might be a situation where someone is... you know, has a hard time to give up an unhealthy
You've got to
way
start
of
loving yourself. You have to
unhealthy
start-
way of eating, or, you know, like
Yeah, but this is
drinking or whatever, right? You know, like this is, I think it's sometimes very hard for people to just let go, because, you know, I don't think it's always like this kind of like, oh, I just can't let go because I'm addicted, or you know, or I need to stick with this job because I you know, I cannot lose this income or whatever. I think sometimes it's really also that there's something inside of us that tells us you still have to learn from this situation. This is what I think, you know.
I think that's a really, there's a fine line there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can say, like, with a loving partner or something like this, then you don't just throw in the towel and say, okay, that's it, I had one fight, it's over. But when it comes to your work life, because a lot of people that I see, they don't actually love doing what they're doing it just for the money to survive. I would rather be digging my hole and jumping inside of it. That's me personally. It's so important that your work life and your social life and your love life brings harmony to you. Because if one's unbalanced, you're going to end up tipping the scales all the time. And that's not going to help you proceed in a positive way of life because you're putting up with it. We're not supposed to put up with nothing. We're here to make a million experiences. Hopefully you're not treating people bad, because that's really not my thing to treat people bad. But if you're doing the right thing and someone's coming to your life and treating you not bad, I personally won't stay. I normally give people 2 warnings. By the 3rd, I'm gone. It's like, I'm not here to waste my time. Is a very valuable thing. I'm not here to waste time. I'm here to make the most of my time and be joyful and happy. There was times when I was living in Berlin and people were like, how can you be happy all the time? And I was like, how can you be sad? I mean, every day we wake up, it's a blessing. It's like, you got another chance to better yourself.
Start all over
to
again.
Start all again and continue.
Yeah.
Like I said in the past couple of videos about the Great Wall of China, it started with the first stone. That's all you have to do, is take one step each day, and before you know it, you've walked 500 miles. But
So,
if you don't take that first step for caring about yourself, then you're going to be pretty much standstill. And then that's when things can start to come up. And that's also a lack of trust in yourself, which trust issues normally come from if you trust yourself. Even if you've been cheated, I've been cheated on a couple of times, and it's drastic at the time. Now it's like a different situation for me, but at the time it was like, oh my God, I could really hear that. Can you hear that heart crack? You know, it's like, we've got to go through our little bits and pieces with life in general, with the whole. But when you come to a certain point and you start to realize what you love to do that all the time. Do it all the time until it stops feeling amazing. Because otherwise you start to create sickness inside yourself when you start to put up with things. You know, you give people one chance, second chance, on the third chance, like, definitely the last, happens again. You are worth more than that. You should be in love with yourself.
So very quickly, what is your moment of this day that you are grateful for?
I'm grateful that I'm not putting up with this. I'm not putting up with this, you know. I mean, I'm asked to work by a lot of companies, and I'm always picking and choosing. And obviously, picking this one was a little bit safer, a little bit further to drive, and just kind of lost a little bit of trust. But after being there, my trust is right there. It's got me on the back. It's like,
so
you don't need to be doing this.
My moment of gratefulness is I was able to switch around
discomforting feeling.
How do I?
Discomforting feeling.
A discomfort around money. I've seen my payslip today, and my first impulse was like, oh, really, that little? And then I was like, no, I'm grateful for the money that I got, you know, because this is gonna create more of it. And I was able to switch it around, and I was like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just feels so great.
You always have the chance to, your thoughts and your meaning-making machine, the mind. As you just made a meaning for something, you can just make it this proof. She was feeling uncomfortable, and by the time she rode home 12 kilometers, she's feeling totally comfortable and being appreciated for what she got. And this is the whole thing. You have to become your master. When we were in India, there was another thing too that Dr. Milati said to us, that the ego is like, you into white, you into black, whatever. You got 6 white horses or 6 black horses, and they're all running different directions. You're probably not even getting one horsepower worth of power out of none of them. If you've got your mind under control, you've got the whole 6 horses pushing you or letting you go the way you got to go. So you've got to start to look at what's intuition, what's silliness, what's intuition, what's this doesn't feel good. So you contemplate, sit down by yourself for a bit and think about why it doesn't feel good. And when you come out with this thing and says, okay, it really doesn't feel good, move on. We're here to create 1 million experiences. Create 2 million, create 5. Because the brain does about that many thoughts a day. You know, like move on. And sometimes we're going to walk backwards and sometimes we're going to walk forward. But if you can be on a constant pace of taking one step at a time, sometimes you're going to take 5 steps, sometimes you're going to take one, sometimes you're going to be one's half back. Everything's fine. You're going at your own pace. There's no race. From your first breath to the last breath, hopefully you come to a point of perfection in yourself. Perfection, people say there is no perfection. You do have some kind of perfection. Each person has their own perfection, what is perfect for them. You can't sort of, that's perfection. And I'm discussing it with my wife, for I love and we're so close to one another. Oh, that's perfect. That's my perfect. That's not her perfect. So when you start feeling something's not good, stop, reassess the situation, and put yourself in the happy place. That happy place where it makes you feel good and your vibration is stretching 3 meters. That's the happy place. When you start to withdraw inside yourself, it's not a happy place. And some people say to me, oh, I love to feel pain and I love to feel this and that. I honestly, as a person, don't. I've been there, I've done that. The confusion it creates inside of me and in my mind is not happy, and it's not, I'm doing this path on. It's not like that for me. Black, white, and 1 million shades of grey. Every situation is different, everything's good. But when it's not feeling good, I know that in here, that doesn't feel good.
Well,
and I don't want to heal that doesn't feel good. I'm like, how do you go? Come back into my center. Okay, so that didn't work out, and that's fine, and let it go. So it's really important to care for yourself.
The confusion comes from, like in the end, it's your inner voice telling you you're not at the right place. It's telling
it's
you.
The intuition.
This is like the confusion comes in the end because your inner being knows where you want to be, because you already have sent all these wishes and desires. We're constantly sending out wishes and desires, and
where we want to be.
We're radiating constantly on our frequency, like a radio, right? And this inner being knows where we want to go, but we're not there yet, and this is the big confusion, right? This is where we feel all this discomfort and this dissatisfaction and confusion and everything, because
we go against
we are not there yet.
It's not that we're not there yet. It's actually, I think it's more like so you feel you should be doing this, and you've chosen to go against your intuition. It's like you're fighting against yourself. When you can actually start to listen to what's going on in here and feeling it, and then, like I said 10 times before, oh, I'm so cool because I've got a new pair of Nikes. No, you're so cool because you've got a good heart and you're letting your heart open up to different people's needs. That's beautiful. Not because you've got a new pair of Nikes. So if my intuition's saying to me, this is not feeling good, and I've just got to stay a little bit longer, you're going to make yourself sick. I don't want you sick. I want you to be like the sun. Because some of us are in darkness sometime, and your sunlight can bring light. It's like walking, you've got a big field and there's lions and tigers and all kinds of stuff, and you've got to walk there at night, you're pretty much going to get eaten up. If it's in the daytime, okay, I can't go too close to that crocodile, I've got to stay a little bit left from that lion. It makes it a lot easier when you're a shiny light where you can see. So start to look at the inner feelings and start to trust it and start to believe it. There is silly things too. I've got to say this, because it's just like the guy drinking McDonald's coffee and burned himself and sued them. there is silly thoughts that we have. We do. This is our conditioned mind, you know. But if it's a legitimate thought and something's not feeling good, do what I did with my kids when they were young. Pros and cons for the situation. Weigh it up, have a look. Your intuition is going to let you know when you start to trust in the universe, in yourself, and in love. You'll be led. Your highest self will lead you the right way. It'll be that light in the darkness. And so it's really important that we really start loving and caring ourselves before we can start sharing this. And when you start loving and caring for yourself, you'll see that you'll be loving and caring to everything, actually. So people are like, oh my God, you're so loving and caring. It's like, oh really? Because I really didn't even notice, you know. It's like I'm just trying to be the best version of me. And the best version of me knows exactly where it wants to be, kind of thing, you know. And it might be difficult at sometimes to make that. I don't say decision, because the decision is the intuition, so you know what you should be doing. But sometimes we make the opposite. If you want to move in a positive, forward manner, there's a lot of things you can be doing. Like we spoke about the other day, to be able to look at yourself in the mirror at least 5 times every day and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Thank you towards yourself.
Because it's so important that you become the sunlight. It's so important that you become the sunlight. And that happens from listening to your inner self and loving, excuse me, and caring for yourself. Get a little bit emotional for yourself. It's really. That's it for today. And if you want to leave a comment, Marta, hello. If you want to write anything, please. Your comments also help us heal. We're here healing one another at the moment. So it'd be really nice to hear anything you have to say. And we're all here for learning. We're all here for learning and experience. If something doesn't feel good, understand it. Start to love you and say, okay, this is not going good. Move on. It can be from a number of things. Even family members. We're all related. We're all connected. Not just your mother and father and brother and sister and uncle and auntie and cousin and we're all related. So when you're shiny, what was that poem? Remember about that poem? I love a little bit of a poem. I like writing poems. Shine, shine, let there be light. For darkness is doubt. And we don't need that.
So that much said, take the light with you and find gratitude in your heart. And
Simona.
and we love you so much. And we'll be there again. If you want to send us any comments, any questions, anything,
it helps us. And I'm asking help.
We're so grateful for everybody who's watching. It's so amazing. Like this, there's such a room that is created, and it makes us feel just so good that people are watching and
having
commenting,
their thoughts,
or just watching. That's also good. We're just happy
having their
people
thoughts
are
and
watching.
stuff. We actually, at the moment, I'm waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to drive down to work, which might be super early for some people. Dorothy wakes up just to feed me salads and stuff and food. So that's why we're having like a really short one. On the weekends, we will be doing a longer one, like on an hour sessions and stuff like this. We would really love it if people can get in contact and want to talk. And if you want to
interact, if you like.
Let's get to know one another.
I would like to motivate you to interact. And
another amazing fact, I think
let's build up a beautiful community of love and light.
All right. the other fact was that there was, I think, there's only 1 billion of us until the 1800s. In the last 222, 23 years, we're 9 billion people. You know, we've multiplied 9 times. So let's not just sit there on our telephones. Let's interact. Let's chat. Let's do things that's going to help us become the sunlight that we are.
All right. We love you so much. See you soon.
See you tomorrow.